Hi there and welcome to Joe World. Please consider subscribing to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss any of our uploads. Hi guys and welcome to another Big Brother Naija Reunion 2021 review, the lockdown edition, of course. Today is day 11, season 5, episode 11. And what did they talk about today? Basically, they had a conversation like they did yesterday about happenings in the house, the gossips, the fights, the frenemies, and what have you. And it was centered around Lucy, Nengi, Neo, and Prince. Literally took the whole day. And then a little bit of V and Wathoni. Now let's get right into it. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel. If this is not your first time, thank you for always coming through. And then let's get right into Lucy and Nengi. Lucy started the conversation because a clip was played about the fight that Nengi and Lucy had in the house, where Lucy said that Nengi likes to be touched, so she should meet people that want to touch her, and that they should go meet her and speak with her, not come tell her to calm down and all. I remember that she was criticized for that statement outside of the house, and then she had to come defend herself and whatnot. Well, Lucy tried to defend herself again, and she said she was coming from the point of, you are a lady, you don't have to be attached to a guy in the house, because literally the weeks they had spent so far, Nengi was week by week close to a guy, like a different guy every week, at her attention, and she was playing with them. And that Nengi said she's a very playful person, and she's grown. Like, I'm grown, I can get to choose who I want to play and spend my time with. It's not on you. Well, Lucy tried to just play it and said that was where she was coming from, and also that she just needed to spite or say something petty concerning Nengi, because Nengi was literally age shaming her, calling her an old woman, asking what she was doing in the house, and then she needed to have something to say that would hurt Nengi. And of course, I feel like the whole conversation about Nengi in that house was about Abadi and how the men cannot afford, and just conversation generally about herself and men in the house. And so she had to, touch that particular angle too, because that's what they do with girls like that. Anyways, let's leave them. They're not so relevant in the discussion. Let's talk about Neo and Prince. Honestly, at this point, Prince is beginning to get on my nerve. Like, guy, just calm down a little bit. You're acting so much like I don't want to use the word baby now, but you could do better than that. Anyways, so this is it. But before that, let's just talk about Neo and Prince. Neo nominated Praise, and Praise got evicted. And Praise was like, I am so disappointed. It's supposed to be Neo literally betrayed all his bros in the house. Praise is like, I am so disappointed when I got out of the house and I saw that you really nominated me. And in Neo's defense, he felt, okay, so Tricky was up, V was up, Praise was up, and he's close to all three of them. And he felt like, okay, Tricky really needs these votes. Tricky does not have so many people in the house who would have his back like that. And he saw it in Tricky's face that he did not want to go home. While he felt like Praise had so many G's in the house that would literally not put him up until he'll be safe. And of course, he cannot mention his babe's name. Like, how would you mention your babe's name, right? And so he mentioned Praise's name. And Praise was like, literally before this whole thing was up, you told me that if you ever got evicted before myself, I should help look after V. So why would you now nominate me for eviction? The one person you trust to look after your babe. Like, are you normal? But that was, although Neo apologized again, and then they brought the whole story out. Now let's talk about Prince and Neo. Now Prince started and he was like, okay, no, what happened was Ebuka asked Prince what he felt concerning the whole Praise Neo situation, and then he had to chip in his own grievance against Neo, saying, well, he didn't expect much from him because Neo is a snake. There's a lot of snake calling. Remember Erica called Lakon snake to a snake too. That Neo is a snake, and so he didn't expect much, because for Neo to bro him up, and because he said, I took care of you when you were hungover, I packed your vomit. Literally, your girlfriend was amazed when she realized what I was doing. When you woke up the next morning, you were literally amazed knowing that I took care of your vomit. I cleaned it, and you now have the guts to go to the diary room to tell Big Brother that I faked my dad's story. I lied. How will I lie on public in public on national TV concerning my dad, who is not just a small person in the society, is a prominent man. My father is a king. He would be watching it. His cabinet members will be watching it. People that know him will be watching it. And you think I would lie about him? And you was like, okay, guy, I didn't say you lied. I said you faked your emotions trying to get sympathy. That is what I said. Big Brother asked, who did you think faked their story? And I mentioned you because, guy, why were you so teary? Well, why did you cry so hard talking about your father? Like, the whole story that you gave us is not that deep. It didn't warrant the tears, right? And Prince really took offense, saying Neo didn't apologize, expected better from him. And then Neo said, I did apologize. The first time we saw outside of the whole thing, when everybody came out of the house, Prince said no, that was not an apology. What he just said, word for word, according to Prince, was that, guy, anything we don't happen for house, no, just leave out for house. Say if you get any deal, we run out together. And Prince was like, you just wanted to get in my good grace so that we could have a relationship, monetary that will benefit you, either for status in the society or financially, not necessarily because you want me to forgive you for speaking ill about me. And Prince was really pained, and I understand his pain and his hurt is kind of valid, but then, guy, just be calming down. Small things are not really that deep. You need to learn to look at things from the perspective of the person. Usually people's thoughts, reactions, actions are a reflection of them, not necessarily of you, so don't be taking it that hard. It's not that deep most times. But then Prince Neo Sha did not apologize, and that one is still baffling me. Like, Oga, just say sorry. I said you faked your emotions concerning it, because everybody on the show on set said Neo should just apologize already. Should have outrightly apologized, not try to chalk everything to what happens in Rome stays in Rome. Because Praise also said when they got out of the house, when the final day, when they evicted Neo on the last day, when they hugged, Praise and Neo hugged, he was like, okay, guy, I'm sorry for. He didn't say I'm sorry. He just said whatever happens in the house, let's forget what happened in the house. And also said, Ozo and Neo's are bro. They are bro now. And it was like, that's the kind of person Neo is. He wouldn't outrightly say sorry. He would just chuck it, so maybe just forget him. But Prince is not that kind of person. Not any kind of person that Prince is. Prince thrives on specificity. He needs to know and have a clear cut. Is a little. I don't think Prince sees gray line. I feel like he's a black and white person, and you need to have specifically said, okay, this, I am sorry, and then maybe you would have moved past it. But Prince is not even ready to move past it, because Prince said, guy, you're not my friend, so I don't even need your apologies. Neo said he tried to apologize because he got Prince's number, tried to call him 3 different times, and Prince didn't pick. Prince said, guy, we chat, so if you really want to apologize, you could have apologized via chat, you could have sent a text message, you could have done something else. And I didn't even see your call because I have your number saved. If I saw your call, I would have definitely picked your call, right? Anyways, they just dragged that story was long. They just dragged it. Both of them wanting to be right. Neo wanting to expressly express himself. Wow, that was nice. Did you hear what I just said there? But then, right, it's just like, guys, just end the story. I feel like I'm even helping them talk about this matter for too long. Well, they're not bros anymore. And the friendship between Praise and Neo is still good. The friendship between Ozo and Neo is still beautiful. And V was actually very straight up. V was like, okay, so I had no idea this went down between them, because if it did, I would have made Neo apologize. Because when Neo told me about Praise's incidents, I was livid. Like, how would you do that to your guy? And that Neo should have just apologized to Prince, but he still did not apologize. Anyways, that kind of ended that story, because we went on a commercial break, and when they got back, they started showing us a clip of V and Watoni having a kind of fight, with V saying Watoni was acting like a mad person because the things the character she just exhibited, only mad people do things like that. And then Ebuka was like, please, what did Watoni do that only mad people do? And she was like, a repetitiveness. Okay, so what happened is they fought over bed space. I mean, I feel like that's like the most little thing you should fight someone over, bed space. Anyways, what Tony said, she felt the whole fight did not actually stem out of bed space. It actually stemmed from something deeper. Prince, because at that point Solani Badge and Prince were close and whatnot, and then Wathoni was just in the mix of a lot of situations, and she's now insisting that she didn't want to be bulldog, she just wanted to have a person, and the person has to be of the opposite sex. Like, you were literally fighting other girls for the guys. Like, make it make sense, ma'am. Anyway, she said she felt like it was Prince that was the main reason why T-Badge was angry with her, and that the bed page just kind of triggered and escalated the matter. It was just a spark, the little touch the fire needed to, blow. And Tolani Badge insisted that Prince was not even a consideration. They just wanted Watoni to be comfortable in the bed that she chose. And that there were other beds in that room for her to stay. And Watoni was like, I didn't care. I didn't mind you inconveniencing me. Which is why, and concerning V's repetitiveness and her being angry that V Watoni just kept telling people in the house what happened. She was like, okay, that is how I cope with hurt. I need to keep speaking about it. And that she only spoke about it to a specific set of people. She only repeatedly told those set of people. And he was like, that was a lot of murmuring and so much back and forth over something that was, you clearly misunderstood my intention. I misread what you were saying. And Watoni was like, they were saying these things. Talani Badge and V were saying these things while she was asleep. But you were there. You were sleeping, yeah, but you were there. It wasn't like they were saying it behind you. I mean, you get, and that she woke up to hear them say those things about her, and then she felt like, okay, these guys are backbiting about me just over bed space and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot. And that is the end of what happened today, day 11 of the Big Brother Naija Reunion 2021, the Lockdown Reunion, season 5, episode 11. Let me know, guys, what you think concerning the whole thing that happened, the old Neo and Prince thing. Did Prince overreact, or should Neo just have said? I feel like Neo should have just said sorry. Like the old trying to explain, guy already said, I mean, family is a very touchy subject for almost everybody. You wouldn't speak ill of my father and expect me to be cool with you. I need you to outrightly say you're sorry for disrespecting myself and my dad and my emotions and feelings towards my dad. You don't get to tell me how to react when I'm telling my life story that involves my parents. You don't. I don't care how horrible, how sweet your life might be. You don't have a right to tell me how to react. The kind of emotions I will show talking about my family, nah, that was just over it. So Neo should have just apologized and let the matter go. But then Prince being Prince too, well, you know that somebody's head is not always very, very straight. You guys are supposed to know the character of somebody and just act accordingly. That's the only way we can actually live life. Act accordingly to someone else's character, because it can't always be about you all the time. Most times this life is not even about you at the end of the day. As much as it is about you, and you have to be selfish about it, if you look at it critically, we are all made up of someone else's parts, right? So that's just it. Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow when another episode airs and shows, and I'll give you the review to your viewing pleasure. Bye, guys.